Be good. Be very
Hey
good.
guys, it's me, Yaya. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. There is a time and a place for everything, right? And so college, just SATs, ACTs. Okay, pressure. I haven't felt that pressure in years. Thank goodness I haven't felt that pressure in years. But there are people that are feeling that pressure right now. Possibly even your own children, your grandchildren, or people that you're taking care of. And that's why I'm here today to give you a resolve or help you to understand that there is a resolve. I don't know if there is. We're going to find that out right now because we have Mr. Tom Haslam on the show today, and he's going to let us know about a specific place called Coolage.com. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Yaya. It's good to see you.
Oh, and you too, and you too. Okay. I have to go back in time and kind of ask you, first of all, like, I know the first question is probably the second question, which is probably going to be, never mind. Why and what is Coolage, and why are you involved?
Well, in a nutshell, Coolage is it's an AI based uh, engine that assists and facilitates and simplifies the college search process when kids are searching for their perfect match for a college. It simplifies the application process and also the preparation process in getting ready for that college. Um, if you've done this with your children lately, the application process to search for a college is a really tedious and sometimes disheartening uh, adventure. There's just so much information, so much misinformation. How do we decipher this and that? And a lot of times these kids settle for probably a college that maybe never was their best match.
Yeah.
So we feel Coolidge has the answer to that. I feel Coolidge has an answer to that. I'm a 40-year educator. I'm currently in my 40th year as a high school administrator, dean of students, athletic director, coach. I've seen it. I've seen it with our kids that we try to facilitate their college journey with, and it's just there's got to be a better way. And some good friends of mine who are very smart gentlemen at Coolidge went through the same process with their sons and daughters, and they said, you know what, we feel like we can do this a better way, and they came up with the Coolidge platform. And about a year ago, they brought me on just as on the board of advisors, just as an educator to have me look at it. And
Mhm.
quite frankly, I was blown away by it. And I said, where was this, 15 years ago when I was doing it with my kids? And so I jumped on, helped in any way I could, and then eventually I was fortunate enough to be named CEO. Uh, and I've worked with this product in depth, and we think it's the answer. I mean, we really do. And there needs to be an answer, Miss Yaya, because I believe the system is broken as it is right now.
System is more than broken. I think it's
Well, I'm trying to be nice, but it works for some. It doesn't work for all.
so
It
you know that
needs to work for all.
I hear you. So you know that puzzle that you love so much that you left in the closet, and you go in there, you pick the puzzle up, and you take and you put it on the big table, and you're like, I'm gonna put this puzzle together, and you get to the end of the puzzle, and there are like five pieces missing. That, my friend, is what this is.
I totally agree,
More
and
than broken.
yeah, it's a large puzzle. It's a 2,000 piece puzzle, but
It
you're
is.
right. But to have success and to get into your dream college and the college that wants you, you have to have all the pieces. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not a people problem. It's a system problem. There are good people trying, but they don't have the tools. And if you're going to build a house, you better have a good toolbox.
Yeah.
Coolidge is that toolbox.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So you're on. You were brought on, which is great. as an advisor in the beginning, now the CEO. What is it like to actually be a part of something that you think should have happened 15 years ago? And I understand where you're coming from because my children are at that age as well, where 15 years ago, 10 years ago, we would have been talking about this. We would have been going through this situation and
Mhm.
not having this resource. It was definitely a hindrance. Definitely a
Yeah.
hindrance. I think
Yeah.
in the long run, I'm thinking back, going, "Oh yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Tom.
Hmm.
Where was this
I,
when I was going through this?"
well, technology, when I was around there was no technology. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I got to college, to be honest with you, but I did. But now that technology is there, we might as well use it. But
Yeah,
what intrigued me about it, like I said, I've done this for 40 years, so I'm in schools and I can reach a few kids here and there, and that's great. But being a part of Coolage, to me, allows me to reach thousands, tens
mm,
of thousands potentially. Um, and it puts me in a bigger pond, and I feel like I can be more help overall. And at the same time, I'm still trying to reach the kids in my local community at my local school. So
right.
uh, you want to reach as many kids as you can. There, believe me, and it's heartbreaking. And I've in my time, I've known a lot of kids that were capable of going to college and would have done great things, but they didn't have the tools to
Yeah.
get there, and it's quite heartbreaking, to be honest with you.
It really is. It really
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
For those who want to go to college, those who want to further, and they need to go to college for a degree that they have to go to college for. It
Yes, ma'am.
is disheartening. It definitely is. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot of children end up in the community colleges because there is no other resource available
Right,
for them to
right,
actually get to the college that they really need to be at. Not like they prefer to be at, but what they
right,
need to do to be in that college. Wow.
right. And
Wow.
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with going to community college. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with not going to college and picking up a trade or what. We don't all get there in the same path,
Right.
but we all need the same opportunity.
Hmm.
We all need an equal playing field where we can choose and get there if we want to get there. Some people want to and never had the opportunity. I I think Coolage is the solution, um, and I fully think it levels the playing field. Which what could be better than that?
Yeah, definitely. I had straight A's in school, but testing was always a problem. I always kind of freaked out on my tests. So
Absolutely.
the test prep was this thick booklet, it's just thick. And I'm like, I am not reading that in time. In time. Like I needed the Cliff Notes. And people they don't have Cliff Notes anymore. But back in the day, we
No,
had Cliff Notes. We had those big yellow and black striped books that gave you the
absolutely.
no,
Yeah,
okay, now they don't have
yeah.
that. But I remember I'm giving you my age here, okay, Tom? So just bear with me, okay? But
Okay, but look, I got you beat, so don't even go there. Yeah, yeah, I'm a lot older than you. But I remember the book you're talking about.
yeah,
It's
the Cliff Notes.
about an 800-page book, and I'm not going to read an 800-page book.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
not.
I'm just
I
not.
didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't. I didn't.
yeah. But
But
yeah, yeah, I know we'll get to it. But Coolidge definitely has an answer for that.
yes, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, and that's
yeah.
what I was going at. Okay, so right now I'm looking at the site. Let me go ahead and put it up on the screen. I'm
Okay.
looking at the site, and it says full academic counseling, right?
Mhm.
Which
Right.
most colleges, like the others, they don't offer. They don't
Mhm.
offer the SAT, ACT test preps.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
AI powered now. Come on, come on.
Oh,
Why? Why? Why
yeah.
didn't
I
why?
don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That SAT, ACT prep's a beautiful tool.
It
Um,
is. Can you
yeah.
imagine if we had that back in the day? I would have been able
Right.
to ace everything because
Right.
I'm a visual person. So
Right.
AI is going to help me to visualize it, to see the answer. The
Exactly.
800-page book is just confusing in my brain.
Yeah, kids don't work out of books a lot. Even adults. Adults
Mhm.
do. They do the audio books, or they read things off their laptop.
Yeah.
The book's out of date. It's archaic.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. It
but
definitely is.
Coolidge's SAT, ACT prep will quiz you on actual SAT questions. So if I'm a student, I can go into that platform on my account and I can choose to take 10 SAT questions, 20,
Mm.
30, or I can take the entire 2.5 hour test. I can
Mm.
take one or two questions and come back later and do more.
Right.
And what it does, you answer the questions. It tells you if you're right or wrong. If you're wrong, it tells you why you're wrong. If
Mm.
you're wrong, it flags that question to where you can go back to it later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it has both the math and the evidence based reading and writing. So
Oh,
you
Tom,
can, yep, yes,
I'm upset. I'm just seriously,
I am so
seriously
sorry.
upset. I could have gotten a better grade.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
I
come
claim
on.
I'm going to claim I would have been an all A student and gone to
Come
Harvard.
on.
I'm going to go ahead and claim that if I had had the SAT ACT prep.
Oh,
But yeah, and and
oh.
I'm going to tell you, Coolidge has big plans for that to where
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be even more user friendly to where students are going to want to go on that just like they want to go on their video games. So
Right.
we have some things in the work, but I've done it and I've taken many portions of tests off of it, and I wish I'd have had it, back in the day. But I will say that I don't think kids take the full test enough. If it used to be a 4 hour test, now it's 2.5. Uh,
Yeah.
and unless
That
you've done
sucks.
that,
That
it's not
sucks.
so much where your knowledge is, it's where your focus is. And can you stay focused for 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Um, and I think focus is a thing you have to practice. So with this prep tool, you don't have to take the whole thing, but you could take the whole thing. You could take it several times and build up your ability to focus. So I wish I'd had it. I know it would have helped,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know it can help now for sure.
Mhm. Definitely. Now let me ask you a question. Okay, because you're saying that you can go ahead and prep this, you can take this test now.
Mhm.
Um, can you take it way before, like maybe as a freshman in high school?
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. You can join
Oh, I
Coolidge.
don't like you anymore.
Well, I'm sorry,
No.
Yaya. Don't blame the player. Okay, I yes you can. A ninth grader can get on and start preparing for SAT right then and there. It's a great idea. Whether
Yeah.
they know all the answers or not, because a lot of those things they haven't been taught in the classrooms yet. But at least
Mhm.
they get accustomed to taking a test. Um,
The test taking is sometimes a challenge for a lot of students. Is this okay? So could you guys eventually replace high school?
I don't want to. You know what? AI in general, you may say on down the road, who knows what it can do. But I think high school's more than just coming and sitting at a desk and listening to a teacher and learning. I think all that stuff is wonderful, but high school is also a social event,
Hmm.
um, and it's also it helps you through a lot of your growing up process. So
Yeah.
I do think and homeschool is fine. Stepping on a campus is not for everybody, and I do think homeschool serves a definite purpose, and I think homeschool does a good job. But
Hmm.
some kids need to be in that type of social environment every day, and they learn that in high school. So
Yeah.
you're talking to an old school teacher.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of high school.
Yeah.
Coolidge doesn't want to do that.
I
Coolidge
got
wants to assist in the process of getting to the next level, which is
you.
college.
So college counselors, high school counselors, is Coolidge there to assist them or just to kind of take over the role?
No, assist. First of all, you can't replace a face-to-face conversation with a qualified college counselor.
Right.
Um, a lot of these people are my friends. They're fantastic, but they're outnumbered. Yeah, the national average of
Mm.
students to counselor ratio in our public high schools is 385 to 1. So
Wow.
that's one counselor that has to get to or try to get to 385 students. That humanly impossible. Um, so counselors, God bless them, they're doing a great job, but they're totally outnumbered.
Yeah.
Um, so if I'm a student with Coolidge now, but before I would go to a counselor say, I want to go to college. I think I want to major in this. what do you suggest? And the counselor looks at that student's records and comes back with some suggestions for
Right.
college.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a process. That's not done in 30 minutes, even. It's done over
Right.
a period of time. Now, if I'm a student, I can say, counselor, I've been on Coolage. I've done my research. These are the 6 colleges I want to target. So you've done all the pre-work. So you've taken all that off the counselor's plate. You've saved the counselor time. The counselor's able to get to more students. Um, just it's just hard. That's part of what I was saying. How the system is
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah. Definitely.
300, yeah, 385 to 1. Now that's the average. 48 states are above that average.
Wow.
Some are 600 to 1. And I've talked to a counselor who was in charge of 420 students. And I said, can you get to all those students? She says, absolutely not. I said, well, what do you do? She said, well, some are left to fend on their own. And it's not her fault. It's
No.
the system's fault. And Coolidge can eliminate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I was thinking too. You were saying how Coolidge can help find those colleges, but sometimes you have some underprivileged children. Parents can't afford college,
Yes,
and they
ma'am.
do need to have subsidies, scholarships. You have athletes, you have
Mhm.
brainiacs, I call them, very smart children,
Mhm.
who are unfortunately in the lower minority of income.
Yes,
Does
ma'am.
Coolidge help them as well?
Yes, ma'am. I years ago, Yaya, I was one of those low income. Now, I wasn't the brainiac you mentioned, but I was low income,
Mm-hmm.
um, and had to apply for grants and scholarships and this and that. Coolidge is actually it's in process right now, and then will be finished soon. Coolidge is working on a platform where you can go and put in your information, who you are, what your grades are, what your income is,
Mm.
ethnicity, your high school, you name it. You put in everything, you build your profile. Within seconds, the Coolidge engine comes back with scholarships, a list of scholarships that are available to you,
Oh,
and
that's
even gives you
wonderful.
the link to where here is where you apply.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I searched for scholarships for all 3 of my kids, and it was totally discouraging. It's just so much information. It's time consuming. What we forget about these kids, they don't have 3 or 4 hours every day to search for these things.
No.
They're going to school 8 hours a day. They're
Mm-hmm.
playing on a team, a ball team after school. Some of them are getting private training. You still have to go home and do homework and
Yep.
clean up and eat. They don't have time for that. So let's use AI in a positive way. And
Yeah.
Coolidge has done that to where, okay, wow, look, these are the scholarships I can apply for. I'm going to apply for every single one of them.
That's wonderful.
Yet levels the playing field once again.
It does. And it gets more money where money needs to be. Because,
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't realize you have books, you have pen, papers, pencils, things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
you've got to get these books before the start of the year, because a
Yeah.
lot of times when I went to college, I walked in and the professor was like, okay, chapter 1, everybody should have read it already.
Yeah. And you don't have the book. No, my daughter's a senior in college.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy, she buys her books. It's there's so many things. You can sit and try to do a budget, and you may say, okay, well, she's eating at the dining hall 3 meals a day. She doesn't need money for food. Yes, she does. Kids still go to McDonald's at 10 p.m.
Yep, because
Kids
there's
still
that
go to the
those
movies.
midnight burning those midnight oils for the study.
Right,
Oh,
right.
come
And
on,
whatever you decide your child's budget is going to be,
it's
it's
gonna
going to
be
be above that.
way above that.
Sometimes exponentially.
Yeah,
And you don't want to tell them you can't do this, you can't have fun. Um, college should be the best 4 years of your life, really.
it
Um,
should be the last best 4 years of your life.
well,
Really,
mine was a little more than 4, but they were good. I'll tell
they
you.
were good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
I understand. It's kind of like the Harada to high school. To me, it was like, yeah, this is hard. This is
yeah.
hard.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
expensive. It's getting more expensive.
Yeah, it is. It is. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I actually love that you have a lot of different things that you offer at Coolage. And it is the website is right there. It's coolage.com. That's Q is that O?
Yes, ma'am.
I
Oh.
love that. Coolage.
Yeah. Like
Qooll.
college, but cool.
Yep, Coolidge. Well, cool, because you guys have more stuff than we ever had. But if you want to go back to college, you could. You could go ahead and use Coolidge
Yeah.
because is
Could
that a hindrance, your age, or just coming out of college? Can you be 90 and still take your SATs and get into college if you wanted to?
You can. I had a grandmother who at one time was the oldest living high school graduate in Alabama. In other words, she got her high school diploma when she was 95 years old.
Wow.
So it's not too late. I know a lot of people go back and get their masters and things like that, which
Yeah.
I think that's great. I was one of those. But yeah, if you want to do that, sure. Who's going to stop a 90-year-old? Do what you want.
Right, but can you use Coolidge to find those? You said this is in progress, right? So to
Yeah,
find those scholarships, because
yeah,
again, you may not have kids, but your income. I mean, a
right.
lot of these people are living off Social Security or disability, and they want to be able to get
Yeah,
off of that. They want to be able to learn a new trade, a new
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and they use that.
Yeah, a rising freshman is a rising freshman. It doesn't
And,
matter what the age. So absolutely, yes. And
mm,
and you said the word trade in Coolidge's database of over 6,200 American colleges. Trade schools
mm,
are in that, and so are beauty schools and nursing schools, and not just your typical Florida university.
I love that.
There's more. So yeah, absolutely, a 60-year-old to do that.
That's wonderful because a lot of people after COVID decided that they wanted to change their profession. They wanted to go after their
Yeah,
dream, realizing that life is super short, um,
right.
and there is no time to waste.
Sure. No matter what the reason, I encourage anybody who wants to give it a shot. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely, definitely.
absolutely.
You do have your theme song.
Oh,
Tell me
awesome.
about that. How did that come about?
Well, first of all, I think it could be sung better. So if you happen to know of any qualified singers, let me know. Yeah, you may be aware of one or two. So, but no, you know what? One of my coworkers who I've worked with at a school and at Coolidge wrote that.
Mm,
And he's an AI whiz, and he put it to music, and he ran it by us, and we're like, you know what? This is really good.
mhm,
Um, I like the music of it, obviously, but I think the wording is appropriate.
mhm.
It kind of fits who we are, but we're hope.
Yeah,
That you don't have to not have tools and be discouraged. You can get that. So I think the theme song's pretty cool.
yeah.
This is one of those things. He's a brilliant man. He actually worked for me, Yaya, but he's my mentor.
Oh, wow.
He's that good of a guy. He's everything to everybody. And in his spare time, he said, "Hey, look what I did." And I'm
That
like, "Okay,
you can't
that's
beat that.
fantastic." Yeah, I know, fantastic
You can't beat that.
energy. Yeah, great energy.
Well, I want to thank you, Tom, for joining me today. It's just been such a pleasure. Is there anything that we missed today you'd like to say?
Can I do two or three more tools real quickly, and I'll run
Oh,
right through them if you don't mind.
please do, because I mean, this is all about what can be done to help the parent, the new student, the
Okay,
college student, the high school student, and even people who want to return now that we know
right.
back to college.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have another tool called Essay Genie, and the Essay Genie it will not write your college essay for you, but it will get you started. And basically, what it does is it poses a series of questions to you based on either the Common App essay or based on your college of choice and your major. So it may ask you questions specifically to University of Florida business major, and you answer these questions. You type it right in on the Coolidge platform, and then the essay genie puts all that together and sends it back to you and gives you an essay, which is entirely too long, but it's basically your words Now you have to go in and you have to tweak it, cut, add all this, but you've got your essay started. And if you're like me, I love to write, but I can sit there for an hour and not put pen to paper because I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So Essay Genie is another useful tool, much like the SAT, ACT prep. Um, but it's on the website. If people want to check it out, they can definitely check it out. Another tool is our task board, and the task board just keeps the student on task. Basically, a student can put tasks like, okay, apply for Georgia Tech or sign up for the ACT, and they can put them on their task board of to-do task, and then they can move them to an in progress, like, okay, I started taking the SAT on Coolage, but I still have so many more questions to do, in progress, and then the completed list. And not only can the student put their own task, but once they sign up for Coolage, there will be tasks there for them, such as broader tasks like apply for the FAFSA, federal application for federal student aid. So all things like that are already on there. Another beauty of this task board, because you may be applying to 6, 7, 10 colleges at one time. You can keep all your tasks in line there. But mom and dad and your high school college counselor can get on there on your task board and look at your task and say, hey, Bobby, your SAT test is next week. Are you ready? Or, hey, Bobby, your essay for Texas A&M is due. Have you started that yet? So mom and dad, I don't want to say look over your shoulder, but they know how their son or daughter is doing by looking at the task board that's available for them. Mm-hmm. So everybody's looking at the same thing. It beats the old days of Post-it notes, which if you saw my desk, they're all over there. It doesn't work for me yet. I've used them for 30 years. There you go. But you have adults that care about you looking over your shoulder, making sure that your tasks are in line and that you're starting to complete them. And all of this stuff, everything that we mentioned, is powered by our 24/7 AI assistant named Ollie. And if you go on our website, you'll see Ollie. He's a little cute robot. But he runs through all phases of the Coolage platform. And he's somebody you can talk to 24/7 and ask any question about any college, and he will come right back to you within seconds with an answer. Very, very, very useful tool. Last but not least, that's almost everything. Last but not least, if you sign up for the Coolage platform, you can also sign up to get one-on-one counseling with a qualified college counselor. So you could be talking to them through Zoom. You could have a meeting once a month with them or once a week, whatever. But you can actually talk to a real person. And you can also actually talk to an athletic advisor if you want to play college sports. You want to play at the next level. They will advise you on how to get there. And here's how you make your highlight video. Here's how you contact coaches. But it's one-on-one live interaction with a qualified human being. So,
wow.
We got a little bit of everything in there.
We do. And I like the human being aspect because I hate talking to the thing, and it takes you in a circle, and it just...
Yes, ma'am. I'm old school. I'm the same way.
It's annoying. My daughter hates it too. So, yeah.
Well, you raised her right then. Congratulations.
Yeah. Human.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. But
wow.
all I can say is go on the website and check us out. If there's a place on there where if you have questions, you can ask, and we'll hook you up with a qualified Coolage employee that can answer them. So, I really believe we got a good thing. As a 40-year educator who cares, I didn't do this job for the money. I care about what happens with these kids, and I think it's getting harder every day.
Yeah.
I think Coolage can be a savior in that way, and I certainly hope so.
I know so, especially since, you have everything and you have the finances coming up. That's going to be the full package right there. That's going to help them between, getting into their people who are in, in high school, just hit high school. Some of their
Yes,
parents really want to prepare them. So for the 4 years, they can be taking these prep tests. And as they change, obviously you guys are going to change with it. It's going
yeah,
to keep them in, keep them up to standard.
yes,
And the finances is going to help them to get the finances they need for their books, for their lodging, for their,
hmm
for, their case may be, and then
right.
parents will have a better understanding as to what is expected of your child. It
Yes,
is a
ma'am.
wonderful thing. It is a wonderful
Yes,
thing. And I
I
absolutely
agree.
love it. Love what you've done. Love that you're a part of it. Again, the website is right there. That's Coolage, QOOLLEGE.com. We're going to put that link in the description box so that it'll be easy for you guys to find it. And if you're going back to school, if you're in your 30s, your 20s, your 40s, your 50s, or beyond, and you want to go back to school and you haven't taken your SATs or your ACTs, or you need to do something, or you need to find a college, some financial aid once they get that up, I'm telling you, go to Coolage.com and
Mhm.
check them out. And you have that free counseling section that you can go ahead and ask questions, ask
Yeah,
lots of questions.
the research tool alone uh, to match you up with colleges within a matter of seconds is
See,
worth
it's worth it.
everything. Yes, ma'am. Just that alone, but there is more. So, yes, ma'am.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, Tom, so much.
Yes, ma'am. I've enjoyed meeting you. It's been a blast.
Oh, thank you. And I'll look for that singer, okay?
Yeah, let me know. Okay. I have ideas, but I'm gonna let you handle it. You let me know.
Okay. I,
Okay.
I got I got it. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Yaya.
All right, no problem. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget that you can always go to Coolidge.com. The link is in the description box so that you'll be able to go ahead and help your child, help yourself, or even help the friend or the neighbor or your grandchild. There's so many people out there, even foster children are welcome to use this program. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye.
Bye bye.
Da, 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 da. Thank you for watching.